Hey everyone, welcome back to the Faster Space 2.2 YouTube channel. I've been going through a little bit of a roller coaster the last few weeks since completing the Myrtle Beach Marathon in South Carolina. Like many of us who complete a marathon, we go through our priorities of what we've accomplished and what we haven't, what we need to improve on. And so I wanted to share with you everything I've been feeling for the last few weeks now since doing that. So I know there's been a lot of fun that I've been sharing with you since then, such as pacing family members at the Gasparilla Distance Classic in Tampa, enjoying some well-earned time off from running, being on my feet, and essentially just putting more time to cross-training. And so before I get into the details, I just want to ask you that if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to hit the button below. That way you can be alerted of the next videos that come every single week. So as I said, a few weeks ago, I completed the marathon. Unfortunately, it didn't go as well as I wanted to. My training at the time, building up for the race, indicated that I have the potential to shoot for a 3:40 marathon, or definitely for sure another PR. And the many months of that kind of training telling me that did make me a bit cocky and definitely very overconfident. So with my PR of 3:53.44 during a virtual, I thought it was a foregone conclusion I would break that. But due to various reasons, which I'm not going to blame as excuses, but it essentially showed and revealed the things I need to work on. Running in heat, and especially in headwinds, is something that I need to work on. Especially when the race gets tough and you're going through mile 18 and on, your legs are starting to hurt, you're starting to cramp. There's a lot of different things that it revealed to me that I've ignored for long enough. Granted, a marathon is never going to be painless. You're always going to feel something. It showed to me that I've been ignoring strength training for long enough. So that's the first top priority of the next training block, would be work on strength, making my legs stronger, making them more resilient to break down fatigue. So that's something that I've been tired of experiencing, because it's not the first time where my right hamstring has gone kaput. And then of course, if you felt a hamstring pull and you still try to keep grinding through it, you'll have compensating injuries, where other muscles are going to try to overwork to make up for the weakness that you just endured. So a right hamstring pull will likely, and again according to my stride and everything, not the first time it's led to a left calf injury. So now the last 2 weeks, trying to get back into running again, putting in a lot of easy runs, starting very, very low base. For the most part, I'm not gonna lie, has been most of a hobble, trying to strengthen that left calf, or trying to give it enough rest so it can recover. So I know for sure that despite putting in 6 days a week, 40, 45, 50 miles a week in training volume, I still need to put time in the gym, or at least start investing in some weights to put at home and to essentially make my legs stronger. And so the second thing I highly need to emphasize is making sure your recovery runs, or simply put, your easy runs, easy. Run them easy. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done most of my runs, my easy runs, at a pace where I think they were comfortable. And in fact, they're not. The easiest way has been explained to me is where you can run as if you're running with someone at a comfortable pace. And that's been a disadvantage for me, because 99% of my runs are done solo. So I guess I would have to bring you along with me on every single run, wouldn't I? For me to understand what's an easy run. So regardless of what my watch says, regardless of what my heart rate reads, I have to take it easy. And if there are any runners that meet me along the way and they see a person who's talking to themselves, well, then I'm gonna have to do it. Just so that way I know this is an easy enough pace to develop enough capillaries in my arteries, so that way enough oxygen can be transferred through the heart and into my muscles. So that's what I need to work on, getting faster at obviously a more comfortable pace. And the last thing I want to cover that I know for sure I need to work on, that honestly, if you want to take running seriously, that you need to take this seriously too, that we often overlook or don't put as much emphasis on, is nutrition and sleep. Now, I'm not talking about drastic weight loss or even putting a regimen where it's gonna impede your health in any way or put your health at risk, but instead is to get yourself ready for race day. Just like when you're trying to go through a training plan, you're priming your body so that way it can peak not 4 weeks before the race, but at race day. So the same thing applies to your body and the foods that you feed it. So I've been thankful that I've lost a lot of weight over the years, from 224 down to 180, where I've been sitting now for the majority of the year. And I've been really comfortable with that. But if I want to achieve the goals that I want to achieve, where right now I've had literally about 3 or 4 marathons now in the mid 3:50 time, 3 hours and 50-minute times, and I need to get to a Boston qualifying time of 3:05, 3 or even sub 3 hours. I got to make changes. I got to say bye to foods that are not conducive to performance. So again, I'm not going cold turkey or anything like that. I'm definitely in talks at the moment with a registered dietitian, someone who can be able to help me achieve my goals. So that's something that will get me there, someone that has a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge, so that way I'm not essentially throwing a dart blind. And then secondly, to that same point, would be sleep. Improving the number of hours of sleep, or at least improving our perception of the quality of sleep. Because we all have work schedules, we all have things that impede us all the time from getting a full 8 hours, 10 hours of sleep. But if I'm not able to get those hours, at least I would want to minimize the number of times you wake up in the middle of the night, having to wake up an hour, 30 minutes, or even the dreaded 10 minutes before your alarm goes off and you feel more tired than you've ever been. So those mainly have been things that I've needed to work on, bad and the ugly. But hey, those are new challenges to essentially reach to the same goal. I just have to learn how to put them all together. And so lastly, I want to share with you the great news. So again, keeping to the marathon, I want to continue not being so hard on myself, give myself a little bit of grace, and pat myself on the back that regardless of how early in the race my hamstring pulled, how tough the conditions were going or becoming, that I still have the drive to grind it through, tough it out another 8-9 miles, and still make it out with another sub 4. So I can't be too hard on myself for that. Even though running lesser miles, I'm getting back in the swing of things. And then honestly, earlier this week, we finally had the announcement that New York City is going to happen this year. And not only that they're going to happen, but they give out information that they're going to have 33,000 runners. Now, it's not going to be like we normally see it on TV, or if you've done it in person with 50 or upwards to 55,000 runners. But hey, a race of that scale, of that magnitude, is still huge. And with my registration, I've told them what my preferences were. First of all, opted to run for 2021. Then essentially you've made it to the second round of that registration. And then when they asked you again what year you would prefer to run, this year, 2022, or 2023, they automatically just did away with the lottery or some kind of random pool and just said, hey, whoever said 2021 would be their first choice, you're in. And thankfully, that's what I picked. So by the time you see this video, New York City will not be my next race, nor my next state. Instead, by the time you see this, I'll be registered for the Amica Newport Marathon in Rhode Island. And that will be about a month before New York City. And I'm not doing that just simply for the sake of pain or discomfort. Hardly. But instead, I want to make that as my goal race. So that way, when I get to New York City 4 weeks after, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to purposely slow down, grasp more experience, and capture more of the elation video that I can, so I can share with you for that recap. So I'll be putting in a lot of experiences with the expo, flying in, city, and of course the race. That's what we wanted to know, is how is the race going to be, especially in this unique 2021. So I'm sure that's going to be very, very interesting to witness and to simply just be part of, because I'm sure next year will be even closer to normal. So that's all I got for you. At least I wanted to be brutally honest with you of the great, the good, the bad, the ugly feelings I've been going through the last few weeks. So if you're going through a little bit of a rut in your training, or simply in just running, getting back to things, you're not the only one. I'm there with you. Just make sure, dream big, make sure to put in the work, and make the impossible possible. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.